It's on! Smooth as a baby's bottom. Here we are, another fun edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, where we bring you the latest in what's going on in the world of theme parks. Seeing that one on you, Jeremiah, I like it a lot more than I did on the model.
I definitely like it a lot more. I mean, I thought I was going to like it in person, but it's much more me than I thought.
Yeah, I could go for that one. We're up there. Anyway, my name is. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world of Disney theme parks today. My name is Doobie Mosley, co-founder of LP, over here with my wife Rebecca, the other co-founder. Down there, back from Alaska, we have the one and only Mike Chiliostino.
But I made my signal seem like it was coming from Alaska, just to follow through.
I feel like you had a better one on the ship than you did when you first got here.
Hi, Mike. Welcome home.
Thanks. Good to be back.
And down below me, the vice president of Capone's is Jeremiah Good.
Yo, 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 baby pop.
We're going to talk about Disney theme parks. If you'd like to be a part of this conversation, please, by all means, join us. You can do that by chatting, however you're watching us. You can use YouTube, which is how most people watch us. So let's say hello, Gio. Hello, Donna. My spirit animal. It's always nice to see you. Yeah, that's everybody. Okay, let's get started with Jeremiah, who went to the August 11th opening of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party over at Walt Disney World, and is here to tell us all about it. What the heck is this, Jeremiah?
That is I really wish I knew where you're going originally with that. So in the past years, and I want to say in the past years, because ever since I can remember, they've been those little plastic wristbands that were pretty easy to rip off, and now they have changed over to the new, if you tighten them too much, you're going to have to amputate your hand wristbands. There's the cloth ones with the catch. So, and they warn you as they're putting it on, it's like, don't tighten it because there is no way to loosen it other than to cut it off. And I have in the past experienced when they put it on there and they pull it too tight and your hand just starts to go numb after a while. But that's the new one. I don't know if it's better or worse. It definitely wasn't helping the cast members when they were trying to identify the wristbands, because these were just black, where in the past they've been the plastic with different colors and a little bit wider. This was, if I had mine, I'd show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one right here.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's not as visible.
No, and I don't know if there are other colors for every night of the event. I'm guessing there would be, because if it is just the black,
that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not conducive to discerning your clientele. But yeah, I appreciate I'm assuming that these are a more earth-friendly material than what we had before. So I appreciate the efforts, but it seems like it still has a little bit to go as far as operational dynamics.
Yeah, and I think it's actually quicker when you're going into the turnstile, which if that was their main goal, it works, because as opposed to putting it on, flipping it, locking it, they just slide in and pull a little bit. But the pulling is definitely the challenge.
But apparently Mickey also knows what that tightening is like. So
yeah.
Do they still put it on you, or do you put it on yourself?
Okay. Nope, they have to put it on you. They have the line of cast members when you go through the turnstile, or the different check-in points if you're already in the park for your stay in Boo.
Hey Nathaniel, we're talking about the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party that Jeremiah attended last week. Man, it looked like there was some new stuff with like the Boo to You parade. I mean, like enhancements. It looked a little prettier.
Yeah, the Boo to You parade, that's still my favorite parade. They took out some of the princesses. I mean, I saw a list of things that had been removed versus the things that are added. This float that they've been using for a few years, they added Minnie, Daisy, and Clarabelle as the Sanderson sisters, which is the only time you can see them during the event. So it's nice to have them right there leading the parade. They got smaller gazebos that used to have the princesses. You do still have most of the other floats. They added Goofy to the barnyard area, so there are now scarecrows square dancing. The biggest change really is they don't have the Toy Story float anymore.
Okay.
And they added in Ursula with Flotsam and Jetsam. Cruella's now in the car. Threw in your son, which is fun to see in the parade.
Gideon, I presume.
Yes. But they, the classics are still there. And by classics means the synchronized butlers, which are all that really matters to me because they're the most fun.
Yep. Have you seen this parade, Mr. Celestino?
Yes, we did Mickey's Halloween party during LP Summit and watched the parade that evening.
Cool. It is my favorite. It is an earworm that gets in your head and is very hard to get rid of once you've heard it. I have recently discovered that Little Patch of Heaven has a similar difficult to live dynamic as well, because they played that on the bus when we were touring Wyoming, and it still pops in my head every now and again, and it hadn't ever before. So
but yeah, the parade
did you get
go ahead.
I was going to say, did you get a chance to try some of the food offerings this year?
Every year this event, we always think, oh, this will be no problem, we'll be able to do everything. Yeah, Mac and I were there running nonstop. We did take a quick break. I tried the Hades cone. I don't know why I said it like that, which is a Dole Whip that has some habanero on there. So for some reason, I'm trying all the spicy stuff. And that was pretty good. I believe Mac, I don't remember what he tried, because while he was eating, I was running up to get into the spot for the parade. But that was one of the things he wanted to try. It's just, there is so much to see. We didn't even get to see one of the Hocus Pocus shows this year because we were on the go. But I must say that compared to years past, the party itself has improved greatly. Just some small additions like the parade, Max before the parade, which I would like to point out once again, as we were invited as media. So we were at Christmas Tree Point, which is right at the town square where the Christmas tree or the pumpkin is at Disneyland, looking perfectly down Main Street. But Max only performs twice on Main Street, one further down and one closer to the confectionery, which is this one. And I believe this is me with 3x zoom on my camera, and that's as close as we were to it. And then right after this set, they just walked right off. So it wasn't even like last year where they performed by the train station. They were just done.
Do we all see this cute little kid bouncing down here with Lightning McQueen around it?
I was hearing a lot of like, oh, that's so cute. I'm like, I can't see anything right here. I'm just going to...
That's adorable. Anything else sticking out in your head from Halloween?
They had the Zombeats dance party, which last year was inside Cosmic Rays. This year, in their infinite wisdom, they decided to put it out on the Tomorrowland stage where the Stitch show used to be many decades ago, which is fun because there's more area to dance. But the poor DJ who has zombie makeup, a half hour into the party, we walked by, and I don't know if you have the picture, but what his face was green is just like streaks of green because he's melting.
Oh, that's funny. I don't have it. I'm sorry. That is great.
And then they had some other entertainment inside Cosmic.
They had the Disney Junior Dance Party, which had been doing in the back. Storybook Circus. One of the things that they did add this year was the Seven Dwarfs, which hadn't been out I think even before COVID, they'd stopped putting them out for events, and they put them back out. We have a video up on our Instagram of them coming out, and it's just so great to see all 7 of them there. So we got a chance to see them. Really, one of the highlights is Rusty Cutlass, who is a pirate band that's been around for many years. They played some different events, but they have them in the Adventureland stage right across from Pirates. They did a half-hour set, and we have that entire video up on YouTube, and it was so much fun. Like, that alone added life to it.
Mickey is my spirit animal is asking, do you prefer Boo to You from Not So Scary or Frightfully Fun? I feel like I'm missing a word. The Oogie Boogie Parade.
I didn't see all of the Oogie Boogie Parade when I was there last year, but I know it's much shorter. Like, that's just kind of a showcase, where Boo to You is a full parade. Actually, probably even more of a parade than Festival of Fantasy is.
How about you, Mike?
I think I really liked the one at Magic Kingdom, but I am a fan of the Oogie Boogie Bash.
What makes it different? Because I feel like there's a uniqueness to the Oogie Boogie one, but it's not coming to mind. Like, what is it that kind of separate? Because I know when I think of Mickey's Not So Scary, like, its signature moment to me is the grave digger, the synchronized, shoveling batch butler segment. Is there something similar that's like a signature moment from Oogie Boogie?
They don't do the Headless Horseman in Magic Kingdom, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do. Okay. Well, that's one of my favorite things. So I guess that's in both parades.
Oh, cool. Okay.
What do you and obviously you're looking forward to all the Halloween stuff coming up at Disneyland Resort. What are you most looking forward to doing?
Well, hopefully I do get to go to Oogie Boogie Bash. I wasn't able to get a ticket, but we're trying to figure out an alternative. But if I do get to go, I love the Villains Grove walkthrough experience in the Explorer Trail, Redwood Creek Challenge Trail.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I didn't get to do that, but that line was long last year.
Yep.
A couple other things at Not So Scary this year. We've got a new popcorn bucket. Were you able to get yourselves one of these, Jeremiah?
I was not. You guys know, I'm not a big popcorn bucket person. It is a really cool popcorn bucket. This and the train at Disneyland are probably 2 of my favorites. This one lights up. But when we arrived, I was there earlier in the day doing something we'll discuss a little bit later on. But apparently this was out during the day. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then when we went for the parade, it was the normal popcorn stand on Tomorrowland side of the hub. And the line was going back almost to Cosmic Rays shortly after it opened. But it is really cool. It lights up.
And then I think this was your video, Jeremiah. You were able to see the monorail?
Yes.
With some cool lighting?
Yeah, as we were in the park, everybody kept saying, make sure you see the monorail. And I kept going, if this is just the only ones they have on there, yellow and black, I'm going to be so annoyed. And then we walked out, and they do change the colors between the purple and orange. I don't know what's going on with that seizure video right there.
Trying to stop it.
But that's just the small little touch. It was great. I felt like they are kind of going back in and putting in more of the effort for Not So Scary, because in the past 6 or 7 years, I feel like it's just been rehash of everything, and this year it did feel like there was some new life to it. So,
what did you think of the addition of this candy scooping?
A lot of people were up in arms about that, and
what's this? What are you talking about?
That's your hand.
Oh, so long time ago, right? They used to kind of just reach in. The cast members would reach in and throw candy at you when you'd walk by with your bag, and then they went to kind of like up candy for a little while, and then there's been like varied things, and this year they have a scoop. The cast member will do a scoop and do a scoop.
Usually in years past, the first couple of parties, they've been instructed, just give out 2 or 3 pieces. And I know this from talking to cast members. So they'll like reach in and grab 3 pieces, put it in the bag. And then by the end, they're trying to get rid of the candy. So the last few parties, you can walk away with like 5 bags full. So this year, in order to kind of keep it, the same, they have just an ice scoop that you can get at any restaurant, like when they're scooping the ice. And I saw the difference between the different times I went to candy locations where it would be the full scoop, and sometimes they would actually put more in the scoop and put their hand on there and dump it in there. I only made it to, I think, 4 candy spots or treat spots, and my bag was half full, which in years past, if you do 4 on the first night or the first week, you may have like 15 pieces.
Yeah,
and how much is left?
I liked when I saw your images, Jeremiah. I thought that's a great way because it's pretty even, no matter what. So that seemed like, and also the idea of just a scoop as opposed to just people's hands in there all the time also is a little bit more appealing in the modern era. So,
Mike, real question for you, Mike. Can you eat the most candy bars and Halloween candy?
It depends. Some of them are gluten-free, some of them are not. I can't eat Twix. I can eat M&Ms.
Wait, you said you can't? M&Ms are not gluten-free?
I can eat M&Ms, and I can't eat Twix.
Oh,
what about Snickers? Snickers, the most important one of them all.
I don't think I can have Snickers, no.
Reese's peanut butter
I forget
cups?
what's in that. Reese's are fine, yeah.
Yes, that's all that matters. Not that they have them at the parties, but...
Kyle coming in with the advice that if you are not leaving with at least a full bag, that's on you.
Yeah.
And Mickey, my spirit animal, chiming in with Kyle's correct. And apparently Geo saw the Tron treat trail was generous with their portion sizes that night. So, hey, just saying.
What is it, $109 to go to one of these things? Get all the candy that you possibly can. Load up.
I will tell you that my bag, while I only did a few treat stations, was full enough, but sadly when I looked through it, I had more Starburst and I don't remember what the other one was. I was like, no, I need
Starburst should count as negative candy. So listen, Jeremiah, you were covering that for LP, so I'm looking in the mail for my portion of that. This is not all.
I got plenty of Starburst for you.
All right. Earlier in the day, you also, I believe, that was Friday, you went to the park, maybe for the Haunted Mansion?
No, but that was Friday also. I ran over there, sweated, came back, took a shower, and then went back. Yes, Haunted Mansion had reopened. We were told months ago that it wasn't going to have the Hatbox Ghost. I talked to cast members, guests were yelling at them. How dare they not have the Hatbox Ghost? When I was coming out of the attraction, people were like, that was so bad. They didn't put in the Hatbox. If they had said it's coming on that day, then I would have been okay. But this was Disney made the statement. It will not be there for this. This is preparation. Really, overall, Madame Leota has a new head inside the ball, which is more of a solid piece, so it doesn't kind of look like cotton candy shoved in there with the face. And they replace things that only I feel like me and 5 other people would even notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the West Coast.
By the way, Nathaniel, who's watching, stopped by the mansion and really enjoyed it. So there you go.
Or saw the movie.
Yeah, the movie I think is referring to.
Oh, you're right. My mistake. You're right. The movie. Really enjoyed it, which would fit with Jeremiah.
Yes.
Who really enjoyed it, as opposed to Mike, who did not appreciate it.
I love that so much.
And I'm guessing our CEO didn't either, since he declared Slumber Party Disney's best release of the year.
What is Slumber Party?
It
I don't
is
even know
an
what that
awesome Disney Channel movie that is now on Disney Plus. That is like The Hangover for kids.
But with
exactly what it is.
It is
Swizzle sticks or
ridiculous
what?
fun, Mike. It is so ridiculous fun.
They get
Mike
hypnotized.
Tyson punches a kid?
Instead of whatever led them to forget what had happened the night before in Hangover, there's a hypnotist at a birthday party. And it's a lot of fun. It's ridiculous. It's such a throwback to, like, I feel like that's what Disney used to do, was take whatever was kind of a popular movie
Right.
in the zeitgeist of the moment and then make it accessible to kids. And so, yeah.
It's like Kids Bop, but for movies.
Exactly.
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 Can we get that as the review? It's like Kids Bop.
Like
Kids Bop for movies. Exactly. But I love it, and I can't recommend it enough.
Looking forward to checking it out.
Please do.
Check it out. It's on Disney Plus now.
Yep.
Check it out. You never know.
I know before it goes away.
I know this morning Kyle was telling me how great.
Sitcom.
This morning Kyle was telling me how great Magic Camp is. I'm like, yeah, can't see it anymore ever, but it was good.
They took it away.
All right, on the West Coast, Mike, Avengers coming mid-September. Avengers Vault is finally opening. What is Avengers Vault, Mike?
So a while ago, they started construction on a new gift shop in Avengers Campus. I guess this is supposed to be a permanent replacement for the one that they have over in Stage. What number is that? In Hollywoodland, the Avengers.
The old Millionaire Building, yeah.
Yeah. So they said this is going to open up in mid-September. Looks like they've got some cool Marvel stuff that they're going to be selling there. I think it's right next to the Avengers HQ building, which is supposedly eventually going to be an entrance to an attraction.
No, it is actually in the building. It's the side door.
Okay.
Because when they change the attraction to the multiverse and the entrance is further on the other side, they kind of opened up that space. So it's where the Jeep is usually parked, or on that side. They have a small construction wall. I don't know how big of a shop this is going to be. You know, they had a lot of space in there, but the area is kind of tight.
Also at the Disneyland Resort, and this is one I'm really looking forward to Michael Celestino covering, there is a new dance party for Magic Key holders at the Disney Junior Theater. It started today, and it goes through the end of the month, 6 to 9 p.m., Monday through Thursday. You get to meet Disney characters, have a photo op, and it is a special dance party. Mike, you covering this?
Ironically, I will be there on Friday. for Disney Junior stuff, so I won't get to see this, I suppose, until next week. I'll be there on Wednesday next week, and I'll go check that out. But that seems fun, and I would like to get me one of those. Is that a magnet?
It looks like a magnet for Magic Keys.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a frame that you can pop out the ducks. So you could have a duck.
Well, who would want? No, I want the ducks.
Well, no, but then you could have the ducks as a separate frame and separate magnet, and then you could have the pretty frame with your family in it.
I like the ducks more than any of my friends or family, so I'm going to keep them in there.
Wow!
Don't forget Mike's most famous thing. You know, the most important, memorable day of his life. It involved ducks, not his wife. Okay. We don't have pictures yet. Mike will get over there, but the treehouse apparently has a lot of its scaffolding coming down, according to the Twitterverse. Looking good out there. So hopefully we can get some pictures of that soon, or maybe Disney will release some. But yes, another thing to keep an eye on over at the Disneyland Resort. Along with, since we're talking about Halloween, a couple more Halloween items from Disneyland. Did you do Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit last year, Mike?
I don't think I did. I want to say Alex did that last year.
Oh, okay. Oh, I am just dying here, guys. Sorry, but my computer is not doing well.
That's all right. I was having similar issues, but I have done it in the past, and always enjoy those Easter egg or pumpkin hunts.
So you grab a map for $10, go around, put a sticker where you find Pluto, or even if you don't, and take it back for redemption for a keepsake.
Have they shown me the keepsakes in there? Last year's pumpkins were not going over too well, it seems, because I know they were selling them for like 25 cents later in the year.
Wow, no, they did not tell us what the keepsake. I want to say keepsakes, like cheapskate. Keepsakes were this year. But that will be returning again, and at, open link in new tab, over at Goofy's Kitchen, which is a former favorite place of ours, right, Rebecca?
Oh, I love Goofy's Kitchen, yeah. They used to have a peanut butter and jelly pizza that we liked.
They still do. They absolutely do. I saw someone post it on Facebook not so very long ago. They are doing special Halloween time meals. Goofy's Kitchen Halloween Brunch, Goofy's Kitchen Halloween Dinner, breakfast remains normal from September 21st through October 31st. So special foods, the characters will be in Halloween costumes. So kind of a fun way to spend some time for a Halloween treat. $62 for the brunch. Oh my goodness. I mean, we used to go to this place all the time.
I know.
Goodness.
It's been a long time.
Is this just inflation?
A bit different, but we went.
70
like 27.
Well, you put characters in a
$75.
unique costume, and they can sell what? How much is Oogie Boogie? Like $300. They can sell those out in seconds.
It's just funny
Dinner.
when it was. It's just funny when it was something that we did so frequently because we lived in the area, and then you go away for a few decades, and you come back and you walk in the door and you go, "Whoa!"
Yeah, so the Halloween dinner is $75 per adult. Exactly, Jeff. Brunch or weekly groceries. $62 for the brunch, $75 for dinner, $62 for breakfast. To be fair, kids are literally half the price, so
So you just pay the kids' price and eat a lot.
that is not how it works, no. But wow,
Were you guys hanging out
that's
with
a lot of
Steven
money.
when you were in
I'm sorry?
Wyoming?
No, we were not. Steven's in the other end of Wyoming. He's at least usually he's from Cheyenne, and we were in Yellowstone, which apparently is literally the opposite corner. But everyone, ever since Captain Kidd's closed, exactly. Goofy's has monopoly. The
Yeah.
prices-
The prices have just skyrocketed. It's just that main competitor is gone from the area.
You know,
Captain
$7.99
Kidd.
or $75.
Didn't we once give that away as a prize? Like first prize, Captain Kidd, second prize, 2 Captain Kids.
You're fired.
Wow, that's you guys were cheap.
No, we did not give away Captain Kidd's goodness. Speaking of wonderful, wonderful food like Captain Kidd's, Shiki Sai Sushi Izakaya. How's that? It's going to be opening at Epcot. When, Jeremiah? Give you a test.
Soon.
Very good. I give up on screen shares. We're just talking today.
I don't know
Did
what
they
the
give us-
exact opening date of that is, but that is a lot of sushi there.
Get your reservation in August 30th at the Japan Pavilion. And where's this replacing?
Japanese dining.
Tokyo Dining?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, the front section of the dining rooms up on the upper level. I went up there a couple of weeks ago, and it was all closed off. It looks like they're doing some good love for that area to update it because it hasn't been touched in at least a decade.
August 30th, Tokyo Dining was the front location, and that'll become this. In the back, they have teppanyaki
Yes.
style dining. So
And that's still there.
that's still there.
By the way, Mickey doesn't want us to forget that for breakfast you can howl around with some characters over at Storytellers, and they did for a while have princess breakfast over at Napa, but I haven't checked to see if they still do that. But they used to have like a princess brunch over at Napa.
Steven's my new BFF, by the way.
Dr. Pepper, that's the way to
Yes.
go. That is the king of all soda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mike.
Storytellers is up there also in pricing.
Mike, what is the king of all sodas in your opinion?
I do like Dr. Pepper. I also really like Cherry Coke.
Okay, decent choice.
I
Cherry
can
Coke.
go for a Sprite pretty often. I don't drink a lot of soda anymore, though, in general. When I was growing up, I did.
You guys are all wrong. The king of all sodas is grape soda. Fanta
No.
grape.
I do. Oh, I like grape soda quite a bit with pizza and grape soda. Perfect.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. What are you shaking your head at, Jeremiah?
No.
I like
I,
grape soda.
I don't like. I prefer Coca-Cola over Pepsi, but I prefer wild cherry Pepsi to cherry Coca-Cola.
Yes, I agree with
Oh,
that.
that's fascinating. Wow.
But
Grape soda,
strawberry
Sprite,
Dr. Pepper is amazing.
I've
Strawberry.
never heard of that.
If you go to the
Wow.
freestyle machines, you can get
Okay.
strawberry Dr. Pepper.
Okay, because I've tried. I like the cherry one. Apparently Jeff is still in brunch sticker shock. That's because Jeff probably the last time he went to brunch was around the time we went to brunch. So probably for both of the same frame of mind.
We could fly down to Disneyland cheaper than we could eat at Disneyland.
Actually, that is true.
Wow. Okay. Springtime, summer. Go
My
ahead.
caffeinated beverage of choice as an adult in the last decade has been an Arnold Palmer.
That's not caffeinated.
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
has
confused.
tea.
Tea. Oh, caffeinated. I'm sorry. I heard.
Oh, thank you.
I
I
said
did the
caffeinated.
exact
I
same
heard
thing.
carbonated.
Carbonated,
Yep.
yeah. Okay,
Like
yeah. No,
that's
caffeinated
tea and
is.
lemonade.
What's caffeinated about? Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Hi, Doobie. Welcome home.
When you guys are on the cruise, Mike, did you at any point get like a Shirley Temple or Roy Rogers?
I don't know what a Roy Rogers is.
Exactly. I've said that to so many people. I'm sorry. I've been so annoyed. I've said Roy Rogers. Like, I work at a bar and I say Roy Rogers, and people are like, "What is that?" Like,
What?
what?
It's a Shirley Temple with Coke
cherry
instead
Coke.
of
Yeah,
Sprite.
it's a cherry Coke. It's maraschino. It's the maraschino syrup with the cola.
Actually,
instead of
grenadine
Sprite.
is not
Yes,
cherry
I know
syrup.
it's
It is
grenadine. Yes, I.
pomegranate.
Can I pay Disney a really big compliment? I don't know if we'll
Yes.
talk about this at all, but I now have done the Disney cruise line and I have done the Princess cruise line. And after this past week, I would say I probably would not do a non-Disney cruise again. I just thought it was inferior in almost every way.
Did you guys pay the $120 upgrade to get some type of decent food on the cruise?
I mean, we didn't do an upgrade on the food, but we had the buffet food and we had the sit-down restaurant food. Some of it was better than others. I thought in general, the food and pretty much everything else was a couple tiers down from what we had on the Disney cruise line. So big compliment to Disney. They seem to do cruising but better. I was not paid to say
Wow. No, you weren't. So I'm curious about your cruise. I do want to leave a little bit of time for that and to come back to that.
Okay. Okay.
But I will get back to that in a moment. First, let's talk about the bakery display, Jeremiah.
I'm sorry, the bakery display?
Did you not get those pictures of the? Oh man, we're so good at this. Of the Baumkuchen, the Baumkuchen.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You say bakery display, and I'm just like, which bakery? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Normally, I would have shown you a picture. I don't know what is up with my computer, so I'm dying with that.
Epcot recently, I guess they didn't really upgrade the bakery as part of the Connections Cafe. They just put labeling on there, and they started working on the wood desserts, which I apparently missed all of the hype over this. It looks really nice. It kind of gives you the Epcot feel of, hey, we're going to show you how things are made, even though it is just the bakery and they're showing you how they bake things. But it's a fun extension of that area and gives you guests something to watch, because they did, when they opened it, they turned everything into production kitchens, so guests can go up and just stick their face against the window like they're looking at toys on Christmas morning.
So that's over at Epcot. A couple other things. VillainCon, Jeremiah. Over at Universal Studios Orlando, you got to experience that. The preview just before it opened to the public. You want to give us your impressions of it, what it is, and your impressions of it?
What it is you're standing on a moving walkway. I really wish there was some other way to phrase that. But it is a fun attraction. It takes over Shrek 4D, and I know myself, along with quite a few other people, have said we would do this more often than we ever did Shrek 4D. But it is based on the Rise of Gru film, and it is VillainCon has returned to Florida. So the whole storyline is you're going in there and kind of joining the Vicious Seven, and you get a large blaster that you have to hold with both hands. You stand on a moving walkway on a dot. You go through large screens, and you shoot at everything.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it is very hard to describe without visuals, and we weren't allowed to video. Even they didn't give us any photos other than the families holding the blasters. But as I said, it's a fun attraction. I wouldn't wait more than 20 minutes for it, but again, I would takes a lot for me to wait a half hour for any attraction. But I'm sure Gideon on his first time there will wait. You guys will wait 45 minutes to an hour with him, and then the next time you'd be like, okay, you go have fun. I'm going to sit out here.
No, Rebecca's going to be the one rewriting that. She's the one
Yeah.
that loves, well, the interactive attractions quite a bit.
Yep. By the way, there
this
were
one is
also lots of yummy
Yeah.
food too. Came with
Yeah.
the opening of Minion Land.
Yeah, the Minions Cafe, the cupcakery, the freeze pops. We got to explore it all. We've been the funniest thing about this entire event is the Minion Cafe opened back in June. So that is, even though it's the official opening of the entire land, it was really the attraction, which is the anchor to the land. But yeah, Minions Cafe has some great food. I've eaten there in a previous visit, and I would definitely go there. And it says a lot because it did take over one of my beloved eating areas, the Universal Monsters Cafe. But
Mhm.
that always had bad food with a great, feel to it. This sit down, they deliver the food. It is lots of fun.
Mac would know.
Yeah.
Okay. And another theme park that's not Disney, Silver Dollar City, which I so want to go to.
Me too.
They today have given more official information on Fire in the Hole. What's it called? Fire in the Hole. That's going to be both reimagineered and reopening in spring of next year. That is an extremely strange attraction that's really, really old. They have a version of it at Dollywood as well, called Blazing Fury, which my father-in-law rode, and I'm so excited that he got to ride it this past weekend as the whole family was over in Dollywood. But the one in Silver Dollar City is being completely redone, and they've announced that it's going to be opening in spring 2024. So I mostly just talk about this so I could talk about my father-in-law going on Blazing Fury. Anything else? Anything else Disney before I really want to talk to Mike about his cruise?
Maybe
That's a
a
good
spirit
question.
animal wants to know from Jeremiah, which is better, the new villain ride at Universal or compare it? She wants to compare it to Toy Story Mania or the Buzz Lightyear ride. She's curious to know where you would place it kind of within that realm of attractions.
I enjoy Buzz Lightyear in California the most. Then I would probably say Minions, and then Toy Story.
Can I ask,
Because
is it the ride system that gets you as far as kind of you're putting it on a lower tier, or is it also the actual visuals as well? Because I know Lightyear is dimensional sets.
no, because I would probably do Minions over Toy Story just because Minions is a constant moving and lots to see, where Toy Story is a stop, you play the game. I do prefer Omni Mover type attractions where it's a continual flow. All three of them are great, but if I were to say this is the one that I will wait the longest for, Buzz Lightyear in California, just because it's more interactive.
Wow, Toy Story last. That's amazing. That's easily my favorite of that bunch.
You haven't done Minions, Villain Con, Minions Last.
Trust me, it's my favorite of the bunch. I'm pretty confident about that.
But they're all pale in comparison to Minute.
Yes, when Men in Black is fully working,
Yes,
it is
fully operational.
definitely the best shooter attraction there is.
Great, it is never fully operational anymore. All right, Mike Celestino, what ship were you on exactly?
We were on the Grand Princess. It was a 3-day trip on land. First, we went to Denali. We went to one of the national parks, whose name is escaping me right now. And
Yellowstone?
No, one in Alaska. And we went
Juneau?
to Anchorage. No, that was part of the ship. Then 7 days on the cruise where we had 3 days that were excursions.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was amazing. The entire trip was amazing. Getting to see all of Alaska, the views and the wildlife. We saw so many different animals and sea creatures, and the salmon swimming upstream, one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I just want to learn more and more about that because
Wow.
you hear about it all your life, and then once you see it, it's even more incredible than you would have guessed.
Did you see bears grabbing them and eating them?
So we went to a bear sanctuary on one of the last days, and we saw a bear catch a salmon, which was really cool.
Oh, that is so cool. Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Have any of you ever been to Arizona? In Arizona, there is a drive-through bear place. It's called Arizona. Sorry, when Mike said bear sanctuary. Anytime you're in Arizona, make a point to go to Arizona.
On the list.
Yeah.
Right.
Trip was great. We got to, it was my in-laws, my wife's family that we went with. So they kind of chose the cruise line and everything. We had a group of 18 people, so it was a big group.
Wow.
So, I think if Tori and I had gone ourselves, we would have gone Disney, but it was interesting to see the differences. I feel like it was a similar size ship to the Fantasy, which is the Disney cruise that we went on. But just in all the ways that mattered, I felt like it was just kind of a step or two down from what we had experienced on the Disney cruise. But otherwise, it was a great time.
Oh, as a Disney fan, that makes me very happy to hear that.
Oh, and I did zip lining.
Oh,
I have GoPro footage of that, and I'll be putting that together eventually.
what is your Instagram where people can see when you do stuff like this?
It's right there in my Who's the Boss Pod on Instagram.
Check that out.
A bunch of photos and video from the trip up there already. I haven't put together the zip lining thing yet, though. So,
did you have a favorite port along the way?
Gosh, honestly, we went to a town called Ketchikan, which I hadn't heard of before.
Uh-huh.
You guys know Ketchikan?
I know Ketchikan.
Yeah.
I see it on every cruise vlog I watch.
Okay, so they have a cool. It's called like it's not the river walk. It's like a creek trail or something. It's something like that. But I really love that. Creek crawl, is that what it is?
That's what I said.
Bunch of shops that are along this creek, and you look down and the creek is below you. And I just sat there and watched this harbor seal chasing the salmon for like half an hour. I put a little video of that up on my Instagram, but I like rivers and streams, so those are always some of my favorite places to visit. But I really like that town.
Mike's highlights were watching salmon and watching a harbor seal. Mike's
honestly, watching the salmon swim upstream is one of the biggest highlights of my memories from this trip, because I just didn't, again, it's like something you hear about all your life, and then you don't really know what it looks like in real life until you've seen it, and it's way crazier than you would think. Just the amount of effort that these salmon are putting into getting up the stream to spawn, and then they die, and I don't know, it's like it's this crazy cycle of life that gave me a new perspective on nature, I guess.
Does it make you feel kind of wimpy for the whining that we do in our lives?
Yeah, kind of. I did really feel bad for the salmon. I really genuinely did.
Hey, Doobie, Jeff's chiming in with the thing that he likes about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice.
The water's always changing.
Only appropriate response to that, Jeremiah, is to clap and to swing your hand. That is the
Gapo.
The spirit of Pocahontas. Okay, well, that was Mike's extra special trip. Again, you can follow that now and in the future in Who's the Boss Pod. We had an extra special trip to Wyoming not too long ago, which I am in the process of trip reporting. I think today was day 5, so 2 more days to be posted tomorrow and Wednesday. You can see all of that on Laughing Place. There's a huge link right there on the front page, going into as much detail as I can of our incredible trip. Also, if you want to hear about it, WDW Radio, the awesome podcast by Lou Mangello, their latest episode just came out this afternoon. And it has Lou, of course, who was on the trip, and myself, and a few other people who were on the trip. And we spent about 2 hours talking about it. And that is a ton of fun. I loved doing it, and I'm looking forward to listening to it with my family. You can find that at the WDW Radio podcast. And if you want to hear about the incredible, amazing, stupendous, can't believe it, once in a lifetime Adventures by Disney around the world, a private jet adventure that Benji and Alex got to do. Alex was interviewed for the Solo Show. That is a podcast, the Solo Show. You can go listen to that. That is the first of several podcasts that they're actually going to be on, one or both of them over the next few weeks, talking about this incredible trip. So keep your ears open for those details. I'm trying to sell ourselves to some podcasts too. I want to get some pub for this, but I realize a trip to Wyoming is not quite as cool as an around the world private jet adventure. I'm going to try.
Yeah, you understand Lou, who you were on there with, does one of the biggest podcasts there is. So I think
I realize, yes, and we're on that one. I realize that podcast is huge, but I want to make it a package deal. You want around the world, you got to take Wyoming. You know, you don't get one without the other, but we're not doing that. Yeah, the long drops. Kyle got to read about the long drops. I unfortunately had to experience the long drop. I'm sure Mike's familiar with the long drop.
No, what's a long drop?
It's the bathroom that you would find at a national park.
Ah.
They're troubling to my husband. So
they're so unpleasant.
You mean
he
porta
appreciated
potties?
that the bus had a bathroom.
I wish it was a porta potty. No, it is not a porta potty.
Yeah,
There's a hole, but it just, you know why it's called a long drop?
Yeah.
I can guess.
There is a long drop from the hole to the ground.
you'd be
And I
fine.
presume they just
Don't don't sit on your phone while you're doing
Exactly. Exactly.
that.
the bus was so pleasant, so nice. Thank you, bus. Snacks too. The bus was the dream. I forgot the driver's name. What's wrong with me? Wade, the driver. Rich telling us all about Yellowstone. Yeah, I'll just stay on the bus, guys.
Did you get to ride on a bus on your land excursions?
I didn't even mention it, but yes, we did. Some legs of the journey were by bus, but one part of the journey was by train, and it was the coolest train I've ever been on in my life. It had a domed, transparent roof.
Mike took the trip of my dreams. This is one of my bucket list trips, the one you're describing. I know exactly this route.
Yeah, it was from Denali to Whittier, which is where our ship left from.
California?
You went all the way from up there down to Whittier?
No, Whittier, Alaska. And that, it was through the whole Alaskan wilderness, over streams and rivers and past, forests and all sorts of cool bridges and stuff. Very, very cool. Would definitely recommend that part of everything. Yeah.
Picture of said train.
Oh yeah, there it is. I took a nice video there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Mike's, unfortunately. This is
not mine.
Extant Chronicles, because I can't get Instagram to work over here. But
okay,
just let people see a picture of it from someone else's video.
There you go.
And Mike shot it too, so you can check it out from Mike over at Who's the Boss Pod on Instagram.
The Graham. All right, I'm gonna say we're done. Okay.
Can I do a quick plug?
Yes.
While you glitch out there, Doobie.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
Any Star Wars or Ahsoka fans? Tomorrow at 4:00 East Coast time, Roosevelt's. Kyle, this is the time where you put up the banner. Is doing another drop that has Ahsoka shirts, and there's a really cool TIE Fighter one that says "Pew Pew Pew" that they just revealed today. So
hey, that's what the long drop was like.
Bringing it back around.
And by the way, in other Roosevelt's news, I don't know, you have more to say, Jeremiah? Because I'll wait until you're done.
Just a lot of these Disney 100 shirts from last week are still available. And if you've got a Buc-ee's near you and you're going, let me know, because apparently they came out with a unique Buc-ee's only skeleton dance shirt.
That's the one I was going to mention. There is a retail shop only design out there. It is the skeleton dance, and it is becoming people's white whale.
Oh yeah, Friday not to say that this is becoming a cult, but
it totally is.
At the event before Not So Scary, there's a handful of us all that are Roosevelt guys and girls, and we were all talking about it because the day before, all of a sudden this weird Buc-ee's skeleton dance shirt popped up, and we were all talking about, like, are you gonna go? but sadly, as with everything that is collectible, people were going in and buying everything off the shelf as soon as they could and second-handing it.
Yep. So it's a great design, and it's a retail only. So if you have a Roosevelt's retail location near you, a retail location that carries Roosevelt's, you'll have to check it because it's not online at this time.
Yeah. Hopefully a future Disney 100 drop. It would be great for, I don't know, October.
Yep. Anything else, Mr. Doobie?
Well, if you love merchandise tips like that, make sure you tune in to Barely Necessities, the Disney Merchandise Show, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, right here on this Bat channel. We'll be back, me and Kyle, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. talking about whatever's happening overnight and tomorrow in the world of Disney. Mike Celestino, is any Who's the Boss coming up? Are you resting up waiting for Ahsoka?
So I have been trying to line up a very specific interview that may be happening this week.
Oh,
If not, it will be next week. And then we'll go right into Ahsoka. So yeah, big exciting month coming.
Rosario Dawson, that's great.
It's not Rosario Dawson's from the publishing world. But yeah, couple months of exciting Star Wars, live action Star Wars coming up. So
what is your level of excitement for Ahsoka?
pretty high. I'd say I'm at like an 8 or 8.5. Yeah, pretty excited for that.
Have any of them disappointed you? The Disney Plus series?
I mean, I've liked them all. I think my least favorite was probably Obi-Wan.
I'm
Not about that one.
Yeah, you liked Andor more than Obi-Wan?
Hey, Andor was the best so far.
Absolutely, if you enjoy 10 minutes of walking each episode.
But I've liked them all. I have no real major complaints. So
Now we know.
It is true, Kyle. Rosario could come on and not talk about it.
Great point.
Did she talk about Haunted Mansion? No.
She can't talk.
No.
Yeah, Jeremiah proving that he is the bottom of the intelligentsia of Disney Park stock by having no respect for Andor, the thinking man Star Wars.
If somebody can give me a 6-episode version of Andor, I would enjoy it so much more than the 9-episode.
It was 12 episodes.
Oh, one more tip for everybody. Here we go. Amazon Prime. Watch Jury Duty. It is incredible. 8 episodes.
If we're looking for TV recommendations, we watched.
It is adult.
Yes, it is for
adults only. Oh, we love What We Do in the Shadows. We caught up on that yesterday. So good.
Futurama is back on Hulu.
Very good.
We can promote that. Definitely make sure you see that.
Yogi Bear, Cartoon Network, invite you to go check it out. Pretty good.
Something that I've been yelling about for years, For All Mankind on Apple Plus, or
I tried
whatever
that
it's called this
3 times and can't get through like 2 episodes.
Yeah, you need to spend some more time on it because once you get past the first few episodes, which is basic history, it changes everything, and I'm probably going to go back and binge watch it before the next episode comes out.
And most importantly, tonight, Claim to Fame. Don't forget to watch it.
Can we also talk about the most important thing?
Disney Slumber Party?
All Murders in the Building is back.
It is back, yes.
It is back.
Good start, too.
It.
Yeah.
Good start.
Really enjoyed it. Everybody's like, it didn't even happen in the building. Just you wait. I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Steven, we're BFFs.
Where's the button?